everyone, welcome to the Forge Tech Help Show. Today I'm coming to you from my new studio office, little room that I have here. Moved my business from Fort Walton to Tallahassee, but I'll still be operating in Fort Walton, Tallahassee, pretty much anywhere virtually, in Florida, Georgia, Alabama. So I even do some work in Chicago and New York and other areas. So definitely reach out to me if you need help. I've got Zoom appointments. And actually, the first thing I'm going to lead into is that I have a new website at forgetechhelp.com. I do need to update my graphics down here. Just realized I'm not promoting the show now. But so forgetechhelp.com is my new website, and I'll just do a little quick overview for you. All right, so got a new website kind of focusing on specifically digital marketing, SEO, website hosting, web design, and online advertising. I'm moving away from doing computer repair just because of all the cost associated with that and with everything going on in the world with the virus. And this lets me offer more virtual consults so people don't necessarily have to come into the office, but I can still meet with you in the office. I have masks and hand sanitizer and all that. Love to sit down with you, set up an appointment, and talk about your business needs. I am focusing, like I said, I'm going to be focusing on being a digital technology guide. I want to help you grow your business, understand the technology you're using in your business, and you not have to waste time on that technology. I created it to help the little guy. I created it for businesses like me, like you're getting started out, or you're just a one-person shop or 10 people, but you can't afford an agency. Come to me. I can help you. The three services I currently offer are, the first one on the left is a $45 1-hour coaching session. So say you have a WordPress website and you don't understand how to use a plugin, or you need to add a feature, or you want to understand why you're not showing up on Google or update a Google listing, those kind of small, quick details. That's going to be the 1-hour coaching session with me, and I'm going to help you get it fixed and help you understand how to use it. Second up, I have website consults. So that kind of covers all of my SEO, web design, web hosting, all that's in there. So I set up a 1-hour discovery consultation where I sit down with you face to face or virtually. If you click this link, you can schedule a Zoom appointment as well. It will automatically create one, actually. But I sit down with you and we take your vision and we hash it out for an hour. We figure out who you're trying to target, where you want to grow, what's your dream for your business, and we create a plan perfect for what you are trying to do specifically, not just a basic template that we just throw up on the web. I mean, you can do that with Squarespace and other things, but it's not going to be as unique as you are. The last option I have is a advertising consult. So that's a 1-hour session. Say we already have the website going. Let's sit down and schedule the perfect ad campaign for this website. Because you can't just put a website up and expect people to find it. You have to have traffic. You have to engage your clientele. Say you want to specifically reach people over the age of 65. A lot of them are probably on Facebook or Fox News or CNN. So we created a digital campaign to focus a message specifically to those people. So that is what that's for. Please check out my new website and book an appointment with me today. All right. So next up is a really good article I found from SEMrush. They're a search engine marketing software. I kind of follow a lot of the stuff that they post, and this is a great article here that talks about some of the SEO basics. And what is SEO? And that is search engine optimization. And they actually had a good quote that I liked. And it says, SEO is the art and science of persuading search engines such as Google, Bing, and Yahoo to recommend your content to their users as the best solution for their problem. And when you're using website builders like GoDaddy, Squarespace, Weebly, there's a bunch of them out there. Like, you can use those things, and that's great for getting started. And they do have some built-in SEO, but there's a lot of many factors, such as the code structure, how new the code is the code sensitive to the visually impaired, is the website loading fast enough, does it show up properly on all devices, and there's many factors, and they list 21 factors here. So I'll just show you the list so you can check the article. And if you can't see it, I'll just go ahead and read it. First one is finding your site's primary keywords. So a lot of people say you don't need keywords because Google doesn't really recognize that anymore, but there's many search engines besides Bing and Google. There's DuckDuckGo, many, especially if you're doing more abroad clientele in different countries. They have their own search engines as well. And variation of the keywords. So like you have long tail keywords. So that's more of like a long phrase, like versus restaurants near me, like best Italian restaurant with gluten-free food would be more of a long tail keyword. Number 3, understand where your site can compete right now. So I met with somebody that's gonna start promoting in New York City. That's a very big place to start promoting a business. So focus your SEO to the areas that are more close to your radius or to your niche of people. And as you grow, you can expand your keywords. So you would maybe just want to market in Manhattan and then branch out to the other boroughs. Map keywords to your site's pages and identify missing pages. Just making sure that the keywords that you're using points to the pages of your site, and identify any pages that might need to have those keywords added to them. And even when you're putting keywords on a page, you want to use that properly. You don't want to flood the page with keywords. You want to use proper headings. There's heading tags, so there's different sizes of those heading tags. What's called H1 tag is the most important tag, so that would be the tag that tells Google what's this page about. So when you're on Google and you get your search result, that first line that you see is going to be either the title or the heading of that page. And then the title of the page and the heading, they usually go hand in hand. Hopefully they say the same thing. The title is going to be in the code, but you don't even really see it. You see it up in the tab where it shows the text at the top of the actual browser. You'll see the title, and that's kind of what shows up. And then you'll see like a description that comes up. And you want that description to have not a lot of keywords, but direct keywords specific to what you want people to find. And I'm going to start going through these other ones a little quicker. Setting up Google Search Console. So if you have a website that you want to show up on Google, you need to set up a Search Console account and add your website's sitemap to it. If you work with me, I automatically do that for everybody. It's included in what I do. And then check that your site can be indexed and find issues. There's sites that you can do to make sure that the bots can actually read the page. Check your robots txt file. That basically tells Googlebot or whatever bot what they're allowed to look at when they scan your site. Submitting your sitemap, like I said, you can submit it to the Google Search Console, Bing Webmaster Tools. There's other more directory-based websites you can submit your sitemap to. Optimizing your site's speed is very important, especially as we're moving towards 5G. Like, people are going to want your website to load fast. This next one is really important now. setting up HTTPS, so that's the SSL certificate, the little lock icon that you see at the top left of your page by the address is telling Google that this site is secure and protected so that they can tell users that it's safe to visit. And then some on-page, more in the content, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying with the title tags. Make sure that your content matches the search intent. So if your website is about, for mine example, issue I have is I'm Ford's Tech Help. I do help people with technology, but I show up for Ford auto repairs, helping for their tech. Sure, I could help show up for that more, but then that would not be incongruent with what my business really offers. So I have to work on creating my information so that I show up properly. And your meta description, that's a description that shows up. Sometimes it can be taken from the content in the page. I use a plugin called SEO Yoast for if I use WordPress or if I use Drupal. It's already built in to automatically create these tags in the proper length. Optimizing your images is really important. One, the image size, so that the image shows up, that the image loads fast enough, that it's compressed. There's many different ways to do that. I use something in WordPress that automatically compresses it. You can serve it from what's called a CDN, so it's like on another website that's connecting to your website to help the page load faster. But also in the actual code for the image, you want to make sure they all have alt tags and title tags, and a good description. So in the alt tag and title tag, you want descriptions of that image, but in a way, the one has keywords in it, but also describes to someone who is either visually impaired or blind what that image is, because they will use a screen reader to read that. Now, I think that was really important. I know Google has a whole page about mobile friendliness that you can check out, and they talk more specifically on these. And you want to build links. So when you're working in an industry, say as a doctor or a lawyer, there's other sites and directories like a networking group or a club or something like that you want to kind of engage with their site, get listed on their site, post content for them, but also post on like sites with a lot of authority like Facebook and Twitter, YouTube, domains that have more authority than you, but also can relate to what your business does. So in a sort of quick nutshell, that's some really good SEO basics right there. Go over this one really quickly. This is just a new tool. I don't think it's quite there yet, but I use a service called CloudFair to do the security certificates for my websites. And they just launched a new service. I believe you have to pay for it. It's called CloudFair Analytics. So instead of just using Google Analytics, you now have CloudFair Analytics in there. Promise that is a lot more privacy friendly for the user and less invasive into their habits, but while also giving you enough information to understand how your website's performing. So keep an eye out on that as it grows, and I try not to jump on something like analytics too quickly because there's many different things you can use, but you kind of want to stay with what's the most reliable, because even stuff with Google, they will launch a tool and then shortly after they're going to get rid of it. So you want to make sure that it's kind of established, or that or you want to use it as more like a secondary tool, so you have both side by side to kind of compare. And then kind of late to the game on this with moving to my office, but Facebook has integrated their messenger platform to send messages between Facebook and Instagram now. So when you send a message to somebody through Messenger, you can do through Facebook and Instagram. I'm not sure if it's fully rolled out to everybody, but it could become very useful. I don't really use Facebook a lot anymore, but I know it's a good feature that people use to keep up with family, and also kind of save if you're still paying for phone minutes or you want to save on your phone bill. A lot of people are using Messenger for that. And also, so Facebook, they've kind of had a business suite for a while. They had Facebook pages, apps, like all separate apps, and I think they're trying to combine it into one suite. So now the business suite, the Pages app became the business suite app, and I like to use that because I don't like to go on Facebook a lot and get distracted. But if you use the business suite app, you can post to your page directly, respond to Facebook and Instagram replies. So I really like it. So I just want to tell everybody about it. But they also have a whole suite going here. And if you go to Facebook for Business, they have a lot of tools that you can use to even learn more about how to use Facebook for your business and do Facebook ads. But also I offer that as well. So if you don't want to learn that or really get in depth with it, just let me help you with that. This one was more like a personal article for myself. My background is in marketing, but also in front-end development. And it's just kind of an article that I like that kind of talks about how being a front-end developer has really become a more in-depth job. So there's things called a full-stack developer. They can work in, like, say, a database or build a content management system from scratch, like WordPress, and also make the site look pretty and work well in a browser. They can do both. So front-end developer is the one that just makes stuff work in the browser. The back-end works more with like a database and customization. So, but as technology's improved, the demand for someone like me to know more has really grown, and that's why I like doing what I do. Like, you don't want to keep up with the ever-changing technology that websites are, or apps, or anything like that. And I want to help bridge that gap and connect you with the tools that you need. Like, even if you are using your own Squarespace, I want you to know how to use Squarespace to your best ability and what's best for your business, and not just to save a little money, because you can save money on something like Squarespace, but it can also cost you money because it's not an effective tool to help grow your business. So you want to make sure that it's not just cost effective, but effective for your business. Because if you're just saving money, but you're not making money, then you're not really helping your business in the best you can. So I think it's an investment to have someone really help you get it set up. I don't think you have to pay what an agency would charge, but I think I've created some affordable plans and prices that can help you and your specific business needs. So CBS has made a new logo. I don't know if you can tell because I can't. It looks exactly the same. I think they made the eye a little bit more open, but let me get this on the screen for you. It kind of looks the same, and that's kind of just how I feel about logos, and there's having a strong logo and a good brand is important. But if you're to me, this seems like a press release from CBS telling people they have a new logo so that people notice it, because they're trying to make it seem like they did something drastic, but they didn't. And they probably spent a lot on it. And I think the logos that I can do, I can do some basic logos more in this area for you, and I work with graphic designers to help. But we're gonna create something that helps you stand out when it's different, when it's changed. People will notice and people will appreciate it. What we do is important, and what you do is important. And just making a few tweaks to a logo and making a press release about it is not enough to me. And I think that's not how I want to help your business. Just a little rant there about slightly changing logos. But anyway, I think the last thing I'll just cover for time is kind of a new thing that you don't always get, especially if you do the website yourself. You don't get all the legal side of running a website. So, this isn't always specific to everyone, but currently, if you have a website and it's accessible in somewhere like in Europe or Britain, or is where they have what's called the GDPR. Basically, you're going to have more privacy features. So you probably notice a lot of websites asking you to accept cookies, and that's saying that you're opting in to be tracked. But they also have to give you that data if you request it. And so now you have to have privacy policies that explain that and explain what you do with their information. And I think it's not something I'd come across a lot with the websites that I work on, but it's important to keep in mind, because you might work in an industry where, like the medical field, like they have the HIPAA compliance. It's important to list privacy practices. Or if you're selling an actual product, it'd be good to have privacy practices. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about building a website yourself. Like, sure, you can do it yourself, but you're not going to be able to cover all the bases on your own. And I want to help you cover all those bases. So please reach out to me at my new website, forgetechhelp.com/appointments. Hope you learned something today, and have a great day.